Today, we're going to be covering the most important technical exercise that you're ever going to learn on the piano. I do this day one, first lesson with every student that I do. And if you can get better at this exercise, it's going to help your scales, your chords, all the elements that you need to play music on the keyboard. So this exercise can be broken down into three components of technique. Right. The first one is it teaches a relaxed and supple wrist. If you look at any high-level pianist moving, there's this effortlessness to the way that they play and they move their hands across the keyboard. This exercise will work on that. Secondly, it works on the curvature and the rigidity of the fingers. So right, supple wrist, but rigid fingers. You need a certain amount of tension, isometric tension, being able to hold pressure on the keyboard to be able to maintain the curvature of the fingers. And lastly, you need a good mind-muscle connection between telling one finger to move and keeping the other one still. So often when I have a beginner student, I'll say, okay, let's play with our pinky, and then the entire hand flips over. So this exercise really teaches the student how to isolate the individual muscles in their finger. Lastly, I want to talk about the implementation of this exercise. It should be done at the beginning of practice every day. Even when you don't have time to practice, there's like a cheat code to practice. If you spend a few minutes on this and go about the rest of your day, I promise you, you are getting better at piano, okay?
Did you crack the code or not?
The most important thing is how you execute. It has to be relaxed. It has to be meditative, zen-like. And the reason is if you are not focusing on those elements of technique, if you are not relaxing your hand when you're doing it, you're wasting your time. You're building bad movement patterns.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
It takes a while. Do not be discouraged if you can't do it the first time, or the second time, or the third, or the 100th time. It is gradually progressing along a spectrum. So if you can make progress with this, you will be better. As we do this exercise, we need to check for three things. Firstly, the line that the tip of your index finger makes to the beginning of your wrist should be an arch. This shape ensures that your fingers are strong and supporting your wrist. Secondly, you need to make sure that the line that your wrist makes with the keyboard is parallel, so that your hand isn't too high or too low, but parallel to the keyboard. Thirdly, you need to make sure that you're not holding up your wrist with your shoulder or your elbow. Think of it like this. If you are relaxed in your shoulder, your elbow, and your wrist, and your fingers are holding up the hand, you can hold down this position. But at the same time, if someone were to attach a balloon to your wrist, your hand would be so relaxed that the balloon would fly away. The most important part of technique: firm fingers, relaxed wrist. Go through your checklist and you'll be able to get these two things. Now for the execution. You need to individually lift each finger one at a time while holding the other four fingers down on the keyboard. Focus on each finger's muscle groups that you need to lift and put it back down on the keyboard. This mind-muscle connection is going to ingrain technique into you. If between notes, let's say you're playing and you lift one finger and your hand drops, that's okay. Pick it back up, reset the position, and then begin again. Oh, two fingers move at the same time. That's fine. That's what the exercise is trying to correct. You just have to go slow. The only way you're going to get good technique is if you build the neural pathways with kinesthetic, so feeling the position, and visual, visual reinforcement of what good technique should look and feel like. If you can successfully get through this exercise on a continual basis, you will have good piano technique. Everything you do after this is going to be so much easier. So now for implementation. Do this as much as possible.
This is a video game!
I require every student to do this 3 to 5 times for each hand at the beginning of practice. It's a great primer to get your mind and your body ready to play. It reinforces the technique before you do anything else. Think about, let's say, a weightlifter going into the gym, right? They're going to hit a big squat single that day. They're not just going to walk under 600 pounds and be like, okay, let's do this. They're going to warm up. They're going to get their mind and their body ready to do what they need to do. It's the same thing for piano. It is a physical activity. reinforcing the technique before you do anything else is going to pay so much dividends in the long run. Your progress will not be impeded by technical inability. So, good luck with the exercise. Remember, take your time, stay patient, appreciate the little successes, and do this every day. I hope you liked the video. Make sure you like, comment some stuff, let me know what I can fix, what worked for you, what didn't work for you, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. I want to be able to teach you guys as much piano as possible. So let me know what's up, and I'll get back to each and every one of you as soon as I can. Thanks.